Good morning. Good morning.
That is not a good way to start the podcast.
I feel like that's the perfect way to start. That's
right.
a great way to start the podcast and the morning.
Welcome to the Tarp Report with Sam and Jess. I'm
Hello.
Sam Miller.
Hello, Sam.
We haven't done this in a while.
I'm Jess.
Jess
Yeah.
Anderson.
I just,
And a beautiful post 4th of July here
yes, July 5th.
in the Pacific Northwest. We're going swimming after this.
Super excited.
Yeah. should
With the
be
kids?
nice. Yeah, taking the kids swimming.
Yeah, my kids are sleeping. I have to text them.
My
Tell
kids
them
are
to wake
sleeping too.
up. You look like you just woke up.
I did kind of.
Yeah,
I'm not taking great care of myself right
What's
now.
What's going on?
I just go to the river and I go home. That's basically it.
He's like
I'm
found.
a
found
river
this.
man.
He's like found this spot in the river, and he just stays there.
I just go to the river with my kids, and then I sleep a lot. That's what I'm doing right now. It's hot.
That sounds
I'm not
amazing.
built-
Yeah, there's nothing other way to.
Yeah, I'm 360 pounds. I'm not built for these temperatures. I'm a Nordic person, I think.
Yeah.
And when it gets hot like this, it's just not. It's just
It's a scorching 82.
It was like 90 yesterday. It's too hot, you know. I'm not built for it. And when I drive, I'm better at that because I got my AC because we don't have air conditioning in my house.
Yeah, that is not a thing that people in Washington that Washington do. That was very strange for me.
We're gonna need it pretty soon. It's getting hot.
We have one. We have like a portable one.
Oh yeah, do you just cool down one room or
Yeah,
whatever? Yeah.
And that last night I slept on the couch downstairs.
See, that's nice.
Yeah, because my room's upstairs.
Because my mom lives downstairs, you know, and
that's
very
where
nice and cool
where you-
down there because it's basically half buried. She lives in like a basement with one open side.
She's
'cause
on
we
her
kinda
way.
live on a hill. Yeah, she's half buried. Oh yeah,
She's got 1 foot in the grave.
That just reminded me about something that we got to talk about.
Okay.
Later. Well, I did a show in Renton on Saturday. Oh fuck, we'll talk about it now.
Yeah.
I did a show in Renton on Saturday, and my mom came to the show, and I was not a lot of people at the show. Still had a really good time. Was very loose and was doing a lot of crowd work.
Nice.
Including meeting a woman who was a funeral director. And when she told me that she was a funeral director, I had already been talking to my mom.
Right.
I told my mom to get her card.
Have you met my mother?
Have you met my mom?
You will soon.
Yeah. So it was pretty sweet. And then a lady told me that she had sleep apnea and insomnia. So I was like, you got to wait a long time to make a lot of noise,
Yeah.
which was...
Yeah.
You guys didn't laugh, but other people did.
Well,
There was a one-eyed chihuahua at the show in the back.
damn.
Yeah.
Sounds like a freak show.
Like just attending the show, or it was
Yeah,
like
you
a
bought a
service
ticket.
dog?
Yeah, they got a ticket just like everyone else. No. They were with the thing. It was not a service dog. I don't know. Well, maybe it was. Maybe it was like a therapy dog.
Damn.
No.
But what I realized while I was there that if you only got one eye, when you blink, you're winking too. If you only got one eye, blinks or winks. You see what I'm saying?
Do I look like I'm
Like in a weird way, if you got one eye, you can't wink. You see what I'm saying?
Well, you have to decide which one it is.
Yeah, because I think to blink, you have to have one eye closed, one eye open. You see what I'm saying?
Well, wouldn't one eye be closed?
No, but one eye would not be open because there's only one eye.
That wouldn't it be open?
I don't know. We should move on.
What did you do for the 4th of July?
We went and watched the Tumwater fireworks
Yeah.
behind this thing last night. Got bit by a lot of mosquitoes.
Yeah, they're ginormous.
Yeah.
One almost picked me up and took me home.
Yeah.
With it.
It was pretty boring. But then down by the river the day before, they were giant illegal fireworks, and that was really fun. And one of them went off and made my youngest, Oliver, jumped.
Yeah.
And then he yelled at him, "That scared me!" But he was like laughing. But like it was really funny. Yeah. What did you do on the 4th of July, Jess?
We hung out at the house, and then we went to Silicon for their fireworks show, which Izzy took us to what I assume is like the teenage smoking spot. like across the railroad tracks and stuff. And it was like the perfect place to watch the fireworks.
Oh,
I was
sick.
like, yeah, I was like, okay. I was hesitant, but I also know where she hangs out now.
Mm-hmm.
But then Joshua had bought fireworks for the to blow up at the
Yeah.
house. And I don't know. I didn't want to, but it was fine. Until he put this one down and it had like 8 or 9 little rockets in it. And it tipped over
Oh shit.
and just started fucking shooting at everywhere. Like so me and the girls were like sitting on the porch, and like it just became chaos like all of a sudden. And Josh was like, it tipped over, go inside. And like there's just fireworks like going off everywhere. Like I thought it was like all of the fireworks. And so like Abby was in like my youngest, like she just went into straight like freeze. Like she was just like, and so I had to like physically like pick her up and like drag her into the house. Like, and she's like, well, what about Dad?
Leave no man behind.
It was crazy. And there were like 4 separate fires going.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
yeah, it was really, I was like inside, like yelling at Josh, was like, no, over there. It was really bad. But it showed Abby that I can protect her.
Yeah, your Josh is probably good with his training, like knows how to handle like emergencies and stuff like that.
Josh was so embarrassed.
Yeah,
Josh
but he
was so
took care of
embarrassed.
it though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I love messing with fireworks, and me and my friends used to do crazy stuff with fireworks because we know people out on the reservation out there in Nisqually. Like we get some wild shit if we want it. You
Yeah.
know? But like, you got to watch your shit, man. Like you will. I don't know. I got multiple friends with missing fingers because they're like messing around with fireworks. You know?
I just saw like the neighbor's house burning down. I was just like, fuck.
Yeah.
And like, and
you
then
do not want that.
no, well, and one flew behind the garage over to the other side, and like we couldn't see it, and like Josh ran and I like threw the girls inside. I'm like, do we need to call 911? Like, what the fuck? I really don't want to because it would really be embarrassing, but I also don't want to burn the town down.
So do you know that there's like a red flag warning for the rest of today too? So I don't know if listeners know this, but I was a wildland firefighter for like 3 years. I fought forest fires for the DNR and for the U.S. Forest
do know
Service.
that.
Yeah, okay. Well, now they'll know a little bit more. So red flag warnings are something they put in effect when there's basically an opportunity for like extreme fire growth. So like if something does catch on fire right now because the humidity is so low and the temperatures are high and there's some wind, like it'll blow up. Like there's a big fire in Shelton right now, and there's a fire in Forks, which is like usually there's not a lot of fires out there.
Is that a thing every summer here? Because like last summer there was big ass fires.
Yeah.
We've been having
so
more and more. Well, we've been having more and more red flag warnings. It's a lot more common. And there's another thing that's going on too. They call it the urban interface, basically. So that's like people more and more, they don't want neighbors. They want to be out in the middle of nowhere. But if you move out into the middle of nowhere in Washington State, like you've moved into fire country. Like that's those forests. Want to hear something wild, Trey? I don't know if you know this or not, but naturally the forests around here are supposed to burn every so often because it clears out the undergrowth. Like fire is like a natural part of the ecosystem, and people do not like that because it's terrifying. It's terrifying.
Well, it wasn't until I moved here that I saw like the sides of highways always like literally catching on fire all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
And it seems like it's going to be the same time every year.
right? Like how many times?
July, August.
Have you seen like literally right out? I think it was last summer. Like it was like burning out here. I'm like,
It smelled like just smoke for like a month straight last year.
Yeah. That's
tragic.
There's
tragic.
There's a few different things that have happened basically, and one of them is that we were so good at putting out fires, and we still are, that basically it needs to burn. Like the stuff is like ready to burn because we've like messed with the balance of nature because those forests are supposed to burn. So they try to do prescribed burns, but there's not enough manpower to do them, and it's really hard to do prescribed burns without losing control of the fire. You also have, like I said, the urban interface, and then another thing that's happening too is like global warming in general is like it's fire intensities are going up, and it's kind of sucks too because these forest fires like spit out so much carbon dioxide too. So it's like increasing this like
Yeah.
it's wild shit right now. So,
Literally.
yeah. So
Literally.
I'm glad that you didn't.
Oh man, it was terrifying. Abby said that it was like Jurassic Park. But I saved her. She was like, "Oh my, you
That's
saved me,
awesome.
Mom." She was like, "It was just like Jurassic Park." I'm like, "Hell yeah!" So
I did some heroic dad stuff.
You did?
At the river.
nice.
Because
What'd
there's
you
like
do?
some rapids that are like below the swimming spot. The kids will be fine. I'll show you when you get there. But Oliver lost a croc and it went down the rapids. And I have this like cheap little raft thing that I bring when we go swimming.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got it. And I jumped in the raft and I went down the little rapids, which you'd be fine if you went in.
Yeah.
And I got the croc.
You saved it.
I saved the croc. And
There
then
was
I
a
walked
croc
back.
in the water.
Yeah, and I got it, and I held it up, and I was like, and then Oliver was like, yeah.
You did it, Dad.
Yeah. Because I was just sitting on the bank with Chuck talking about therapy. It was pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
I'm excited about this. There's a place like that in Kentucky that we would always go to. Me and one of my good friends. I call it Grandma Dulce.
Yeah.
But we would go there with the kids, and like we'd literally just plop a chair in the water
Dude,
and just hang out.
One time I tried to do that one time. It was a river, and my dad was like, "Oh, like we should all just lay on our backs and let the river just take us along, and it'll be nice and relaxing." So
Yeah.
we do it, and like 5 minutes later, I try to stand up, and like the river's getting fast, and like I can't touch the bottom.
no.
Like none of us can. So like my dad's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, get on my shoulders," and then no, it was tragic.
Damn, dude.
No, but we survived. But no, like
Yeah.
it was one of those
You,
things.
you know, moving water.
Oh, it's so terrifying.
It is people. There's already
So
been
scary.
12 drownings in the Northwest this year, like already. You know, because people, what do they say? Like fuck around and find out, man. Like you can really like my kids once they know a spot. Like I'm okay with them taking their life jackets on. My kids are decent swimmers, and I keep an eye on them. But like, man, life jackets and like just knowing like what's around, like what's downstream, like having a plan, like, oh, if you get sucked down there, like, what are you going to do? You know, like it is, this spot that we're going to later, like I feel good about,
Yeah.
but man, I've seen people like all it takes. Cause that's the thing. Like if you're just playing outside on land and you hit your head and you get concussed or whatever, and you go out, if you do that shit in the water, that can be just game over like that, because then you take a big breath of water and then you sink, you know, and how deep is it? What's down there? I don't know. You know, that's my nightmare with my kids, because especially my youngest loves jumping off of high shit in the water. You'll see when we get out there, like it is bananas. So
Yeah, one of the things that's also in my TikTok algorithm is boat accidents.
oh no.
Yeah, and like rip tides, like big waves. Last night I was watching, they were like rogue waves that just like happen, and they're like the opposite. It was fucking crazy. Yeah, I just stopped looking at TikTok.
I've been looking at TikTok a lot.
Have you?
Yeah.
What's on your algorithm?
It's just chaos. Like it's so much different stuff.
Is it?
But it's mostly silly
Stand
now.
up,
Dude,
or-
it got dark. Hell no, it's not stand up. Stand up's terrible. I hate stand up comedy. It's mostly
I love stand up. I fucking love stand up.
See,
It's so funny.
I am well, let's
You're
talk
the
about it.
anti stand up comic.
Yeah, summer bummer. That's what Sam's doing.
Oh, is that what that's about?
Yeah. Is it stand up kind of slows down a little bit in the summer. Like the crowds are smaller. There's like less shows. It's hard to book like off night stuff.
I haven't worked in a week.
Yeah, right? You see what I'm saying? Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah. I do have a
Yeah.
big show tonight, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got a big show tonight?
The teacher show and and the Spanish ballroom.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
I think Rachel said that there's like 180 tickets sold as of this morning.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure I'm hosting.
Yeah. Is that Don Gavitt's thing? That's good. He's doing that.
Yeah. And then I think it's Rachel's first time back
Oh, cool.
on stage.
I'm glad,
So
man. She's gonna have a good time. That'll be good for
I think
her.
that'll be a good show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, it does. It slows down a little bit. And
Yeah.
me, as much as I wish that it wasn't like this, is it like I kind of depend on those endorphins.
Right.
But here's the thing: is like I'm not like depressed or anything like that. I'm just like my energy level's really low. Like I'm not like I can be calm and just like basically like not happy, not sad, but just like kind of right in the middle. That's
Yeah.
kind of where I am. And that's where I've been for like the past 3-4 days, something like that. It's kind of like meh.
But
whatever.
not like apathetic, but just like
What's apathetic mean? I can't remember.
right, like that you don't care about stuff, right?
I mean,
you're just like
I don't care about a lot
are you
of stuff.
content?
Are you supposed to care about a lot of stuff?
No, not a lot of stuff. I just mean that like you're not caring about the things that you
I
normally
care about a little bit of stuff.
Yeah.
I care about like my kids and
Yeah.
Brittany,
Right.
and then friends and stuff. I went and saw my therapist yesterday. That was good.
How was that?
It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of some wild shit, you know. I told them like kind of like the big horrible thing that I don't like to talk about. So
Yeah.
that was cool.
And they didn't run out of the room.
No, they were all right. I mean, they were okay. If
That's good.
you know, and I'm thinking about doing like a bit of writing about it. I think I told you about it
Not
when
sure.
we went to Eureka.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. When we had the very serious conversation.
Yeah, we had a serious conversation.
And like
That actually might have been like kind of what brought the podcast about more than anything, or like having those conversations while we're going. And we're going to take another road trip together.
yes, we are.
Yeah, it's going to be good. But anyway, I should finish the thought.
Yeah.
The therapy went well. My therapist gave me homework and was like, have you thought about forgiving yourself? And my initial reaction was like, what the hell are you talking about? Like forgiving yourself? Because I didn't really understand what they were saying. But I think I figured it out. I mostly figured it out. And that's that I've been in the process of like forgiving myself for quite a long time. And that getting sober was me forgiving myself. Me being a good dad is me forgiving myself. Me existing in the world and creating like more like harmony than like chaos is me like forgiving myself, basically.
Right.
Like for just
Being a piece of shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the easiest way to describe it, just
Yeah.
all of the shitty shit you do in addiction.
Yeah. And I don't even know, like, I don't know how much shitty shit I have done. I just don't. I know it's a fair amount. I know it's something that I have to think about, you know.
Yeah.
I have to think about it all the time, you know. And I'm not going to talk about it on the podcast, but like that big chunk of information, there's basically like the last couple months of my like drinking and drug use were terrible, and they were really dangerous. Like I stole a car from the wrong guy, and he found me, and bad stuff happened because I couldn't find the car. I didn't know where the car was. And that changed that instance of, like, changed my trajectory as a human being. Outside of, like, addiction and stuff like that, I went into that one shape and I came out a different shape. But you know what's weird is even right now, like, I can think about that time in my life and I can be just fine. Like, I can hold it together.
Mm-hmm.
But what kills me is if I think about my kids now and them relating to that guy. And them relating, I don't know why I say that guy, them relating to me back then. And me thinking about their dad, me being in a situation like that where my life was very much at risk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? My life was very much at risk, you know?
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, I think about like the same. I mean, do you feel like, because I wrecked my car, got a DUI, like all of the things like were, adding up that like you should not be drinking. I'm hurting people, I'm getting kicked out of places, and so I've been sober almost 7 years. And even when you're saying, like, you're talking about forgiveness, and I'm like, yeah, those actions of those are, by staying sober, I don't know if I feel like it's like forgiving myself, like, cause I don't know how to do that. Cause I still feel like I hold all of that.
Yeah.
Like, I still feel like a piece of shit. Like, I'm still that shitty person.
Yeah.
Who's, even being.
And I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
That no matter what I do, no matter how many good things I do, because of how high I was when the bad shit was happening, like, I don't know all the things that I've done. I really don't. Like, I made, a lot of times I'd make a bad decision, right? And to not get caught, I would do something to try to cover it up, and I'd make another bad decision, right? And then
Right.
somebody would figure out what I did, and then I'd make another bad decision, maybe even the worst bad decision out of the three, to convince that person that what I did. Because I remember I used to steal shit from people's houses. I was like, so it started out with like shoplifting, right? Like, and by the way, like, I don't feel that bad about shoplifting. I'm sorry, I just don't. Like, especially Target will be fine.
Yeah.
My apologize to Fred Target and his whole family, whatever his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't think that you should steal from Target. I think that Target is amazing. And if Target is listening, hello.
I don't think you should steal from Target unless you really, really want to. In which case,
luck.
yeah, I'm not going to say anything. But what that was for me was like a slippery slope, which is why I don't shoplift anymore. Is
Right.
because I would take little things from Target, and then I'd take big things from Target, and then I would take little things from people. And then it got to a point where I was okay, like stealing bikes from people and stuff like that. And I still feel bad about that.
Right.
I still feel bad about that. And people in Olympia, when I got sober and like walking around downtown and being like, okay, I'm better now. And they're like, no, that's not enough. It's not enough for you just to like get sober. And I was like, oh yeah, like I gotta like do work, like to. And it's strange because like the things that this is a beautiful thing is that the things that make me feel better about myself are also the things that help my community, basically.
Yeah.
So like doing like charity events, maintaining like a positive presence like downtown,
Yeah.
like all that stuff, like is me not just righting those wrongs, but like making myself okay, It's like, I think sometimes people think that like a lot of the good things that I try to do is either an act or it's something that I'm just generally like a good guy like that,
Yeah.
And I might be generally a good guy, which is cool. Like, I don't know for sure.
But you're just trying to fix your karma.
Yeah, I am motivated
you're doing
by
all of it
guilt.
selfish.
Yeah.
You're selfish, man.
I'm motivated by guilt. Like, I feel bad.
I tell you, I'm like, I run on guilt. If I didn't have guilt, I don't know what I would. Guilt and anxiety.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the way to go.
I mean, if you stay guilty, you don't have to get guilty.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
but that's the thing is that like, if I get to a point where I forgive myself for God knows what, like I said, I still don't understand all the things that I did.
yeah.
I'm kind of worried that I won't be. Did you hear that weird ass noise?
What were you gonna say?
That was weird. Did you hear that?
Erupted from like
Yeah.
your inner spirit.
Was that you?
I know, it was weird.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah.
I thought it was
gas
something.
creeping up.
Oh my
No,
god.
I felt like a tummy bubble, and then like it was weird. It was like a burp, but further down.
What were you going to say? I had something that I was, damn it.
No,
That is refreshing.
I am worried that if I forgive myself for the things that I did, is it maybe I'll lose some of that motivation to do the right thing, you know?
Right. Just like if I stop beating myself up about being an alcoholic, maybe I'll accidentally become an alcoholic again.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's it. Isn't that wild?
But yeah. So how do you say, there's a lot, you said that you don't know all the things that you've done.
Yeah.
And like, I definitely feel like that. I mean, there's obviously like blacking out, like there are so much that I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I don't want, like, I'm good on that. Do you feel like it's like, do you want to like dig through that and you feel like you need to like go like piece by piece and be like, okay, I forgive myself for that time that I robbed Susan. I would forgive myself for that time that I robbed Rob.
I don't know. You want to know something fucked up though? Is I used to steal shit and then I'd tell people and they'd catch me and I'd be like, dude, I'm so sorry. I don't even remember doing that. I was blacked out.
Course.
But I wasn't blacked out. I do remember stealing that shit. And that was to people that I really cared about too. And you know what's strange too is like, I know this might not make sense to people, but like, when they talk about addiction and they say it's like being like they used to in the before times, before the 1850s, I think. So they used to classify like mental health care was basically they'd classify people as either idiots or maniacs. Like that was it. You were either an idiot or you're a maniac. And addicts and alcoholics got folded into those categories. Right. Because eventually their behavior, they would have wet brain and their behavior would deteriorate. Great word, Trey. That's perfect, actually.
Great word, Trey.
No. I really appreciated that. So their behaviors would be deteriorating. But that they didn't have a lot of religion and healthcare were like one and the same, basically. And the addicts and alcoholics were oftentimes declared that they were possessed, and as much as that doesn't really fit, and I'm not really into the religion like that, like I don't think that there's actual demons like possessing people, but like I felt like there was like a demon possessing me, and that there was moments where whoever I thought I was and whatever goodness was in me, I could push it aside because I wanted to get high more than I thought people. I wanted to get high more than I thought people deserved their things, and that's messed up.
Yeah,
that's messed up. I was like, I want to get high more than this person needs to ride their bike to work tomorrow.
And on like in my head, at first I was like, oh, well, I don't know, like holding on to that stuff and this and that. In my head, this is like, I didn't say it out loud, but I was like, oh, maybe you've already forgiven yourself. But now when you say it that way, because I already, like for thieves, like I have like a thief who can take your stuff. Like that's a different kind of like, that's a terrible person. And the fact that you were able to do it and with that kind of mentality, it's still like almost scary that like the cool Sam Miller that we know today was a dude who was doing that fucked up stuff. Like, because thievery is up there to me, like, to be able to steal something, that's tough.
Dude.
Yeah. And then the guilt after, because like we've all probably taken something when we were little from someone and they're looking for it, but it's like, so now I kind of do understand why it's like what's going on maybe
Trey
through your
is
head.
like, maybe don't forgive yourself.
No. No, but now I understand. Like now it's I can't imagine because that's oof.
And I didn't, and there, and I wasn't, and I'm not trying to defend myself here, but like, the amount of stuff that I stole from people was like, I don't know for sure, but it was like a relatively like smaller amount of things.
But were you actually like, you can say that now, like, oh, I was thinking that, they didn't deserve to ride their bike more than I deserved to get, or, however you said it. But were you thinking that? Because like at the time, like I was just thinking like, I'm not really hurting anybody. Like, I'm just going to go get I'm just gonna get a little bit. Like, you know, I'm not gonna get that drunk. It's not really that big of a deal if I'm wasted and go drink in my kid's elementary school. Yeah. Like, it's, you know, who cares? Like, but like looking back, like, holy, like I could have gotten my kids fucking taken away from me. Like I could have gotten a DUI. Yeah. Like, you know, like so many horrible things. You know, it sits in your stomach. But like,
there are moments where I'll be like on a late night drive by myself. And usually when I'm driving by myself, I'm thinking about stand up. And I'll be like, oh, what if I did this joke and this joke? And then also I could talk about this, and I'll think about something that happened. And then when I think about that thing that happened, it'll remind me of a thing that I haven't thought about since I got sober 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh shit, that's real. And that really happened. Like I did that. Like I've never actually sat down and tried to bring myself to that spot. Yeah. But it's kind of like, even though like 15 years have passed, like I'm still recollecting things. And I think the amount of stuff I'm recollecting has gone down. Like, and I feel like that's going to keep happening where like it'll be less and less.
Right. Because you've only got so many years that you can go through. But
yeah. And also I've already remembered so much. And to Trey's point too, man, is it, yeah, dude, like it was fucked up. I feel terrible about it. I mean, I can't like, I make these jokes and I, cause that's how I deal with that shit. But like, I actually appreciate you, Trey, cause you know what I'm saying, man. It's like as to how I did it and what I thought, generally my feeling was like, man, fuck it. I'm doing it. Like, I'm not, it wasn't a thing where it was like, I wasn't like, oh, should I take this? Should I not take this? It was like, fuck it. I ain't thinking about it at all. Yeah. I'm just doing it. Like I'm just doing it. It's man. Crazy, man.
Drug addicts or something else.
Yeah. Like it's not a thing whether to do A or B. It's a thing to reject A and B entirely, like no, man, like that's me. Like that's me.
Cause that is like a, like alcoholics are not known, like that is like a very, like drug addicts will rob you. Like, alcoholics aren't usually known to like,
I want to
steal your stuff.
Not to get on my soapbox like I did last episode though.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. But like, I just want to point out too that, drug addicts as a whole, there are plenty of drug addicts that never steal.
Right.
Drug users that never steal and never do anything like that. And they would never do that. And that there are plenty of like CEOs and that are stealing the very survivability of this planet from us, like the level of crimes committed by me and my ilk are nowhere near the level of crimes committed by like the corporations that run this country. I just want to put that out there.
And also it's crazy how a lot of people will do messed up stuff like I've done or Sam's done or Jess has done, but they won't go back and reflect on it. Like, I don't know, like the fact that Sam's, getting help and talking to someone, it shows a lot about how he wants to, even though he's an older gentleman, like he still wants to like get better. You know what I mean?
Fucking older gentleman.
Yeah,
I love you.
Because there's some people out there.
He's right.
There's some people out there who like did crimes and probably went to prison and have no remorse over it. They didn't really change their character. They didn't really compromise their comfort, and they're just kind of the same. And the same's not that nice.
That. I like compromising.
And they still do, and they're still doing harm. Yeah, like that's the deal. Is it? My kids aren't scared of me. I have good relationships with the people around me. I'm willing to take accountability for when I do screw up, and I get to keep living a life where it appears that most of the dirt that I did is in the past.
Right. Gosh, that's good though. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
That's such a good feeling. Like knowing that like you don't have to wake up like other than like a comedy show, like knowing that you disappointed people. Like,
yeah.
You're like feeling like you're like, fuck, you like wake up and you're like, what did I do?
Yeah. So, not to put a bow on this, but my therapist saying that like I should forgive myself. Or what I think of, they didn't say that I should forgive myself. They said that I should, what they asked what I thought about forgiving myself.
Yeah.
And I think that as I remember more and learn more about who I used to be, that I'm going to work on forgiving myself along the way. And I'm going to forgive myself by continuing to take like good actions that like support my community and the people around me. Like that's the move, And I like doing that anyway.
Yeah.
I like doing that anyway. So
I've found that, like writing, and because I've, I talk about drinking a little bit, and, I want to talk about it more, but like finding the funny, you have to dig through the yucky stuff. And that's actually one of the things that I'm working on right now is like, I'm trying to do a bit about, the fucked up shit that I've done while I was drinking. And so I'm like going through and I'm listing, and I'm like, I wore pink corduroy pants for an entire summer. That's fucked up. Like that's bad. That's
when
really
was that?
bad. This is back when I lived in Maryland.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, I gave myself bangs. Like these are bad things. Like,
God.
but
I want to see pictures of old Jess
Yeah.
in her corduroy pants with
it's a good
bangs.
time. Oh man, I loved those pink corduroy pants.
I like bangs. I think they're cool.
Yeah, it was fine. You just shouldn't give them to yourself. Like
I like girls with wild haircuts.
Yeah.
They're like my type.
that's cool.
Yeah, because I feel like if somebody doesn't care about how they dress or look, they might not care about who they're dating.
Right. Obviously, they're not worried about perception.
Sam might become an option if like. I always say, man, women back in the day, if you're on that bad decision train, like come over here to Sam's station. Shout out to everyone I've ever dated, and I hope that you're doing well.
Me too.
Yeah.
Except Tim Bailey.
Who's that?
Yeah, he was my high school sweetheart, and then he cheated.
Oh yeah, that was the dude
Yeah.
you went to the military with,
Yeah, screw
right?
that guy.
And then he like,
Yeah, we don't like it.
yeah. Hey Tim Bailey, if you're listening, if you were here, I'd steal your bike right now.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
We'd sell it for snacks this
Sell
time.
it for snacks, yeah.
We'd sell it for Starbucks.
For Starbucks, man. Yeah.
Slurp it up. Tell them how refreshing it is.
Oh man, it's really
So
really strawberry.
So the last week it got a little heated. We'll say, if we remember correctly, about whether I would about my alcoholism and my Native Americanness and my all of that stuff. So I was looking through my
Ooh, I'm curious.
I'm really excited about this.
You're Native American after all?
Just one second. I'm gonna find.
Now, see, I didn't. In my defense, before Jess, what she does, I didn't. I never said you weren't, and I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, what I found was that this guy is my 8th great grandfather, right? Mm-hmm. And then if you go over here,
It's very blurry.
I don't know why it's so blurry. But anyway, look.
It said that he is. Oh my God.
Right?
That's wild.
What, he's Wampano or
No,
something?
no. Jess
That
is
is really-
legit related to Pocahontas.
Like, hello, what?
Isn't that wild?
There's that little horn thing.
Oh, there you were trying to remember what it is. Dude, that's cool.
Right?
Yeah.
My dad wasn't he was a liar, but like,
Yeah. I want to do this again.
What's that?
I want to apologize to Jess again because the when you said the thing about they're like, oh, the drinking, maybe that's because I'm Native. I saw that as you like trying to make an excuse, and that's not what you were saying.
Yeah.
You were talking about like, so that was me just like misunderstanding you. And I was concerned about the stereotypes that we hear so often about Native folks, but that's not what you were saying. It was deeply personal to you.
Right.
So I messed that up. But
No, it's okay.
we talked about it off air.
I feel, well, we talked about it on air. I feel like, I feel like that's what's, we can gripe and then figure it out.
Yeah.
And then I think it's fine. I think I appreciate that, about you. Like you are all, whatever you are feeling, you feel it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You don't,
I'm a big ball of feelings.
right. Like
It's really exciting being me.
I know. Well, but I'm the opposite where I'm like, I'll feel something and then I'll like be like, and then I'll sit back and I'll like, should I be feeling that way? Why do I feel like that? And then like, and just let it go.
I tend to trust my gut. You know what's weird though is that before I said that, I actually really like hung up for a minute on like, I'm like, should I say something about that? And then I was like, oh yeah, this is public. I want to make sure that folks know to say. And it turns out that I made the wrong call because that's not what you were talking about.
Right.
And you know what's weird is that when I'm thinking about what I might say next, I'm not listening to you. And so I didn't get the full context of what you were trying to say.
Right.
And so like that's something that I could work on the podcast with you and with other people off the podcast and with you off the podcast.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes we do like we miss each other. We're like ships in the night. But that's okay.
I actually didn't hear what you just said because I was like, I'm going to have a drink of my strawberry drink that you got for me.
Yeah. Well, yes. I don't like saying that I got it for you because I didn't get one for Trey. I didn't
do you want
get
the
it
rest
for
of this?
him. I didn't get it.
I can tell
for
you don't
him.
like it. I'll take it.
Yeah, it's too sweet.
Every time he drinks, he's like, ooh.
It's so sweet.
You think it's sweet? I think it's.
Oh my
tart.
God. No, I think they put more strawberry in it.
Oh yeah.
Because you said extra strawberry.
I didn't. I said no strawberries, and then they put extra strawberries in there, like crazy people. Yeah.
Dude, that was smart. You see what he did?
Yeah.
Even though I still got the germs.
Yeah, they're still in
I just
there.
put it. with
Dude,
the
I ain't
rest
got
of
no
the juice.
mouth diseases, dude.
Yeah,
Just wiener ones.
Yeah, right. Weeder diseases.
I do. I got one. I got.
What do you have?
I got cool dick disorder.
Ooh.
So you might actually want that. It's really cool.
Yeah, I just got diagnosed.
I did.
Yeah.
I just got. I was.
We went to me and the kids and Joshua went to Silverwood. Have you been there?
No.
Oh, it's fun. You should go. I think the kids are.
They are, and we are going.
Oh, you are?
We are going in the beginning of August. But go ahead. I want to hear about your Silverwood trip.
No, it was fun. It was just a like really. It was in Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene.
Coeur d'Alene.
And I was like, wait, I've been here before. Yeah, it was really nice. We got
A lot of white people.
Izzy drove. She was very excited.
Oh, wow.
We got to the hotel. I was super stoked because I was like, I could hear like live music being played. And I was like, oh, yes, this is awesome. Like, and it was like midday. So I was like, let's go. And so I told Joshua to open the window to see, to listen to the music. And it was like, Lord, I lift your name on high.
Yeah, let's go.
And I was like, oh,
gospel.
son of a bitch.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That was a bummer.
We are going at the beginning of August.
It's fun. They have the like amusement park side and they have the water park side. And
Yeah.
Are you guys going for more than one day?
We're just going to go for one day.
Just one day.
Yeah. You'll have to tell us. We'll probably hit like the 2 biggest roller coasters or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it'll probably start getting really hot. And then we'll probably head to the. Did you go to the water park? Mm-hmm. Do they have a lazy river?
They do.
Oh, okay.
I got a boo-boo.
We're good.
I got a boo-boo.
Oh, on a lazy river? Mm-hmm. Dang.
Yeah.
More like treacherous river.
We kept going. Me and the girls. We
Whenever
went
I
around
say
it, like,
something stupid, I look at Trey to see if he
Was that
laughs. Yeah, was that good? And then nothing.
Okay, try again.
Nothing from Trey.
yeah, me and the girls, we just we were being super lazy on the lazy river. It
See,
was
that's
nice.
that's what my kids want, and that's what I want, and
Yeah.
what Grandma wants is the lazy river.
Laser, lots of there's like 2 separate like water parks, like, and then they have the big slides, and there's a lot going on.
Yeah, it'll
It's
be
fun.
red. We're doing a thing. So right now I'm trying to book a show in Reno on Monday, and I have a message out to a guy. I have more work to do on it, but I'm doing a bunch of stuff for Thai boys, and the boys are coming with me. And this is like, obviously nobody's going to see this and tell my kids this, but they don't know this. They think that we're doing those 4 shows and then we're going back. But I actually booked a show in Santa Rosa. My mom's going to fly into Santa Rosa, and we're going to meet her. We're going to surprise the boys. She already has a hotel booked in Santa Rosa. And so we're going to act like we're like, all right, we're on our way home.
Yeah.
But instead, we're going to be, boom, in Santa Rosa. We're going to open the hotel room, and there's Grandma.
Grandma's waiting.
Grandma's waiting. And then we're going to go to Boise, which I haven't booked a show yet either. I feel good. I think as long as this guy messages me back. So, no. We're going Santa Rosa. We're going Reno. And then we're going Boise. And I think I can get Boise, but I might have to do a deal where it's just like a straight door deal.
Yeah.
But people will come out, so I'm not too worried about it. But the thing is that I think most of my Idaho fan base might not be in that part of Idaho. We'll have to see.
Boise.
Not in Boise. We'll have to see. So it's pretty wild right now.
That's awesome. That sounds really fun. Then you guys are just gonna.
Yeah, we'll do Silverwood for a day.
Yeah.
And then I got to come back because I'm doing.
Because that's in Idaho.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in Centralia at the Juice Box August 11th, and you might do that with me. We'll have
Yes,
to see.
it's a maybe.
I have to talk to Gabe today, but
It's written on the calendar. It's not highlighted though.
yeah. I posted a crowd work video on my social media, and it totally shit the bed on Instagram and Facebook, but blew up on TikTok. It's like my most watched TikTok. I feel like I kind of struggle with TikTok sometimes. And like, I kind of feel like I'm part of the problem because I'm posting like heckler videos, you know?
Well,
but that's what hits, man.
that's
It's
it. Yeah,
crazy.
it's what's hot right now.
It's what's hot right now. But I'm really proud. You saw it, I bet. Did you?
Yeah, I was creeping last night.
Yeah.
Checking it out. I saw it. It was on the cusp of 700.
Yeah, I think it is over 800,000 now. So.
I was just looking at it last night, so that's crazy.
I have 2 more videos of me dealing with that same heckler too.
Oh, nice.
I posted this one because I feel it's like the strongest, but sometimes I'm wrong about that.
Yeah.
I put a video up this morning about shoplifting at Target, and it feels like that one's going to do really well too. I know after this topic here, you've heard me do that joke before. Where I used to shoplift at Target a lot, but in my defense, the store's called Target. You know,
They had it coming.
Asking for trouble.
Right.
So, which by the way, I know that's similar to a Mitch Hedberg joke. You know that?
Yeah, I think that I've heard it, but I don't. What's the
Mitch
difference?
Hedberg's joke is I tried to go into Target the other day, but I missed. That's Mitch Hedberg's joke.
Yeah,
But it's basically playing on the idea that Target has that name.
right.
So, like, I don't know. If that's, you think that's too close?
No,
I don't think so either. I don't really give a shit either.
I think I've asked you this, but you probably Dusty Slay.
What about him?
I like his stand up, and like I just all of it is like similar to. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
Like, because
You like Dusty a lot. I got the descriptions, by the way. I don't know if I can.
Final.
I don't know if I can talk about this.
But I'm gonna.
Yeah, So a thing that happens. So with the album coming out, a thing that happens is they write different descriptions. Like they have a copywriter that watches the album.
Ooh.
And
Like what goes on the back of the album.
no, it's like what they send to like.
No, that was just a joke.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Because I'm still confused too. So here, I guess I will.
Like what they would send for people to like buy it.
Yeah. Essentially. Yeah. In here. I think I can read this. Okay. So this is what they're sending to like different outlets or whatever about my album. Okay. Sam Miller's come full circle, round trip, if you will. It only took roughly 13 years to get from just outside the Capitol Theater in Olympia, Washington to inside, standing center stage, telling his sobriety story, not 200 yards from the spot where he found himself under a tarp and the very specific gaze of a passerby. All he had to do was take a look at his own belly tattoo, determine whether he needed to get sober. He did. Work to get and stay sober, get 4 jobs, fall in love, and form a family, build a stand-up career, take a detour into nonprofit work, weather some breakthrough COVID, and stay out of jail. Easy peasy. I'm not going to read the whole thing.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really crazy to have like.
How does that make you feel? I got a little. It's fucking awesome.
You know what's weird is it all kind of blends into this big mass of like unknowns. Like, what's going to be cool is what the album comes out. I'll have some more income, which I need right now. Like, money stays tight, especially in the summer when stuff slows down. Like, money's kind of tight. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really.
It's awesome. That's got to be like kind of, surreal.
Yeah.
And
It is.
They're
surreal.
talking about your album.
Yeah, it is surreal. And I'm booking shows in Macon, Georgia here today. I just got an official offer to go to Georgia, so I'm excited about that.
Then you have to be in Georgia.
Yeah. Except I have to be in Georgia, but I think I'm going to Georgia in January.
Yeah.
So,
oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it'll be great. It'll be
Georgia
a
in
nice
January.
break.
It'll be like 80.
Yeah. Let me see. What other? Is there any other stuff that we wanted to talk about today?
I don't think so.
I feel like we've been in here. How long have we been talking?
52.
52.
Like, literally not even the whole time. Like, so rude.
This is
like, this is dragging on.
Is it? I can't tell.
No, not at all.
I feel like we haven't had like a moment of like extreme laughter though.
Oh.
Which is usually something that I don't know if I can make that happen.
I don't feel like now that you've said it. Do you have any jokes?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Not a lot.
Okay.
Do you have any?
I have a new one that I wrote, but no.
I wrote a thing. So like I had this doctor back in the day and I switched insurance so I couldn't use him anymore, but he was like a combat medic. Like he was hardcore. Like he was in Iraq for like a long time. And did I talk about this already? Mm-hmm. Both of his eyes were different colors. Mm-hmm. And like I have such a hard time listening to people at doctors' offices because I get real nervous at the doctor. So like I'm just thinking about leaving on the whole time and I can't even hear what they're saying to me. And usually they're saying like important shit.
Or like stealing stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want those gloves.
But the fact that his eyes were different colors.
Yeah.
Like I could listen to him because I was so focused on like trying to either figure out what was going on with his eyes or like trying not to look at his eyes. Like it gave my ADHD something to do. So I could like listen to him. So yeah.
Oh. What was that for?
It was gonna be a joke.
Oh. I was like, why are you telling us this?
It's no good. It's a bad joke.
I need help with it. Here, you can help me with a. Okay. You can help me with a joke.
I'm gonna do my lean back, helping Jess.
Lean back. So I have a joke about how, Josh and I are married, but we're not like married, you know. Mm-hmm. But I want to talk about like before in our marriage, we really like to role play. Like one of our favorite things to do is like role play, and like I always like role play that like he's my dad. And then I'm always like
in bed or in the kitchen?
I'm always like, you're not my real dad.
Wait, like, what, would you be role playing like?
Ew, in bed? We don't.
Oh, just playing house?
Yeah, just like in general.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good. It was a valid question though. People might wonder.
Yeah. We role play like not in bed. But I say things like, you're not my real dad. And I didn't ask to be born.
That's pretty good. I like that.
But I need other things that you would like yell at your dad, like when you were younger.
Wake up! Wake up! My dad.
Put the bottle down.
My dad would get drunk. My dad would get drunk, and he would lay in this lazy boy chair.
Yeah.
And he'd put on the most boring TV shows I've ever seen, like the McNeil Lehrer News Hour. And then he would get like a big glass of buttermilk. And then he'd just he'd take like one sip of buttermilk and then he'd just fall asleep in the chair. And he just slept in that chair a lot of the time.
Damn.
And now I sleep in chairs.
Do you drink buttermilk?
I don't like buttermilk. Have you ever had buttermilk before, Trey?
I never even
Heard of buttermilk.
Yeah. They use it a lot in cooking, but it's kind of old school. It's
like half and half or what?
it's more like cottage cheese
I was thinking like
than
eggnog.
anything. No, it's more like cottage cheese than eggnog. It's basically imagine really runny cottage cheese, but
I don't want to.
yeah. I tried it a while ago just to see if I could do it. But oh my God, he loved buttermilk. That was a big treat to him.
Gross.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else. The idea where you're yelling you're not my real dad.
Yeah. That's the role playing that that.
Yeah.
It's
I didn't
not,
ask to be born.
Yeah. You think that it's going to be sexual stuff, but it's
It's not. That's the role play.
right. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I think that you and Josh have such a unique situation. It's just, it's different than, I don't know what people think it is, but I know that,
It's great.
yeah.
It's a, yeah.
Is he coming today?
No, he actually used to work, which I was bummed about. I thought he had off today because I did invite him, but yeah, he's working.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't help you with your joke. I don't know.
That's all right.
I don't know what to do with it. You can't even begin to help me with my joke because there's no joke.
Oh, because you don't have one.
I don't have one.
Because there are none. That's okay.
I don't have a joke.
That's all right. I'll figure it out. Figure it out.
This has been a uniquely heavy episode where we talked about therapy a lot. But I guarantee you the next episode might just be the same. We don't know what's going to happen.
Probably be, yeah.
Probably the same.
So,
But yeah, I want to go to the river.
let's go.